We welcome you live to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series Season number 4 race from the Kansas Speedway. And cars are on the racetrack here for the warm-up session. We're live in Kansas, and it is Kansas Week in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League. Welcome and live to Kansas City as cars are on track for this warm-up session for the Xfinity Series. 2 races to go before the playoffs, just tonight at Kansas and then Daytona to come. As here comes Alexander Ortega down the front straightaway. Sorry, we're live a little bit late. Of course, just as the warm-up session, going over a lot of stuff you got to watch out for tonight. So, of course, Kansas Speedway, another mile and a half this season. Mile and a half in the Xfinity Series have been pretty entertaining so far this season. So Ortega going to pull off. In that 32 car, here's the 1 to Trenton Wilkin, and there's the 4, Christian Herklotz. We got to talk about Christian Herklotz, how great of a run he's had these last 2 weeks. Gained so many points, and now he's inside of the playoff, not inside the playoff bubble, but inside of the playoff battle, at least, inside the top 15 in points, after being outside the top 20 majority of the season. He gets into the wall. All right, so of course, 90 laps. Oh, hard on the wall, Max Filippi on the back straightaway. 90 laps to come tonight at the Kansas Speedway. It is race number 12 of the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series season. Like I said, just tonight and Daytona to come in the regular season. And let's go looking at your playoff grid entering tonight. That's Kansas. So, of course, Richard Cherry can technically lock up the regular season championship if he exits plus 32 on Cole Wilson. Or plus 33 on Cole Wilson. Alexander Ortega, you can see he's still technically mathematically involved as well. Justin Rott, I don't think he is at this point. Joseph Lewis, he's only plus 14, already 5th in points. Maddox Spear plus 13. Michael Gregory kind of comfortable plus 11. Then you go on the cut line. Pfeiffer plus 5 on CJ Erdman. And then you got Carlos Ortiz minus 7. TJ Moon all the way back to minus 10. But he's had a few good weeks. Herklotz there minus 12, 12th in points. Colorino and Kiri Freeds minus 22, minus 25. 13th and 14th in the standings. So still wide open for the playoffs and even the regular season championship. And here's your current points leader, Richard Cherry. Multiple wins of the season, of course. Won the season opener in Daytona, most notably. And looks for the regular season championship to lock it up tonight. Of course, regular season champion will be awarded 15 playoff points. Second, of course, gets 10. Third gets 5. All right. So far top of the board, Keaton Converse, who is in his first ever Xfinity Series start. You might know him from iCar, of course, ran okay there. Fortunately, we were not able to be at the track for the broadcast last night in iCar. Cameron Chandler ended up with the victory in a fuel mileage finish. He won his first iCar race here, defending champion of season number 4. Of course, the iCar winners this season have all gone on to win the Cup race 2 days after. So can Cameron Chandler continue that streak tomorrow night? That's Kansas Speedway. This is a track that Cameron Chandler, of course, won at last season and, of course, clinched the season number 3 Xfinity Series championship a year ago. There is 31 around in Suarez. There is 32. That's Alexander Ortega. Got his first win, their last race, of course, at Watkins Glen. Long time coming, but finally grabbed career win and win first win of the season for him. He currently sits inside the playoffs, like I mentioned. And back into 1 and 2 goes Ortega. Cameron Chandler now second on the board. Maddox Beard, he is currently P3. Oh, and Ortega gonna go into the wall here. There's the 88. That is Cameron Chandler. Of course, such good history here at Kansas Speedway in the Xfinity Series. Clinched his championship a season ago. There's Aiden Donahue in the 82, making one of his select starts. He has an Xfinity win this year at Rockingham. Your Season 2 Xfinity champion. And here's your current points leader, Richard Cherry, like I mentioned before. There's the 19 of Keaton Converse. What a lap he put down. Of course, track looks pretty sideways. Cars are going to be loose all around. As they head down the front straightaway, back into 1 and 2. There is Ron and Suarez to the inside of Rojan Cook. There's the 5 of Cole Clausen. He is currently 14th on the board. So, Cole, about 12 minutes to go in this warm-up session. What has been the biggest thing you noticed on the racetrack so far?
Man, it is slick out here. We were just slipping and sliding. You know, Kansas, one of my favorite tracks, but yeah, not doing too good right now in 14th. Just got to get this thing a little bit more tight, and I think she'll be rolling tonight.
As Cole Clausen will head back into 1 and 2, one of his select Xfinity starts this season. Oh, he hits the apron a little bit. Following in behind Rojan Coe in that 27 machine. There's that 31 run in Suarez, heading into 3 and 4. Oh, McCain crashing. There goes DeFilippi with some damage. 32 Ortega. There is that's actually Matthew White, your test car on the racetrack right now, heading through 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Matthew White actually wants to take us along for a lap. We'll do that. Ripping the boards here through 3 and 4 and down the front straightaway. All right. There's the 6th, that's Zane Rahman. 4 there is Christian Hercules, the 29 of Richard Cherry. 3-car battle here. There's Donnie to the inside of Cameron Chandler, the 2 all-time wins leaders in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series. Donnie, of course, has the edge over Chandler by a little bit. 2 former champions as well, so lots of wins and lots of championships right behind Maddox Beard. 10 minutes to go. Warm-up session at Kansas. Chandler there on the boards. There's the 82 Donahue car pitting. That's looks like CJ Airman in the 92 got a car spinning out. That is, let me actually get to it. I can't get to it. That's the 8 of Maddox Beard. He'll go around. All right. Still a little bit to go in this warm-up session here from Kansas Speedway. Qualifying coming up next now. Trenton Wilkin goes top of the board. Of course, this was the home of the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series and Cup Series championship races the last 2 seasons. A lot of memories were made here. Talk about Cole Clausen's biggest memory that was made here in tomorrow night's Cup Series broadcast.
Yes, sir.
So here's the 4 of Hercules heading through 1 and 2. Needs a good night tonight currently. Of course, like I said, it's 12th in points. Top 8 all make the playoffs at the end of the Daytona. As Hercules will stop his machine. So 2 races for both Cup and Xfinity to go in the regular season. Converse still third on the board, back into 1 and 2. Top 6 cars all separated by less than a tenth of a second, so very close at the top of the board. Richard Cherry down in 8th. Cole Wilson needs to have a good day and outscore Cherry to keep that alive for the regular season championship heading into Daytona. Here is the 31, that's Ronan Suarez. Oh, he'll hit the apron and he'll slide up the racetrack here nearly to the wall. Actually, we'll hang on to it though. All right, still about 8 minutes to go. This warm-up session, we got a car wrecking on the back straightaway. Oh, hard on the wall goes Jacob Clarino. Big hit there. He will slam into the fence. All right, here comes Cole Clausen on the 5. There's that 29 of Richard Cherry. And here comes Joseph Lewis making his way through turns 3 and 4. Joseph Lewis has had a really solid season. As Matthew White now goes top of the board. Currently inside of the playoff cut line, like I mentioned earlier. Currently sits Plus 14, so it's not completely safe for Joseph Lewis at all. I mean, not too many drivers are completely safe. The only ones that are locked in is Richard Cherry, technically. I mean, Cole Wilson is not mathematically locked in, but he pretty much is. Just needs to, like, basically start tonight. All right. All right, so still about 6 minutes to go here in this warm-up session from Kansas Speedway. As the wall goes Joseph Lewis there in that 28, and he will spin out yet again. All right, we'll be right back in about a minute here at Kansas. Warm-up session currently underway. As we welcome back live to Kansas Speedway tonight for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series. Richard Cherry now goes not second on the board, I should say, to Matthew White. So times have been improving as the session goes on. Maybe track temp cooling down a little bit. So this race will be in the day. It's going to be a very, very slick racetrack all around. Got a bit of racing here side by side. Ryan Suarez and Alexander Ortega down this front stretch. There's CJ Ehrman cutting down low. Ooh, car getting loose. That's Suarez again. They head back on a 1 and 2. Oh, there are 3 cars getting sideways. There goes Suarez. Ortega saves it. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this is going to go on. Well, how much can these drivers push before these things step around sideways? Now Aiden Donahue goes top of the board. So it's been switching around. It was Wilkin, then it was Chandler, then it was White. Now it's Donahue. And it was Converse even before that. That puts the top 7 within less than a tenth of a second of each other. And over a 30-second lap, that is very, very close. Oh, McCain, he stopped and gets rammed by Converse there. There's the new man top of the board, Aiden Donahue, like I said, and he'll hit Matthew White in our test car. Of course, Matthew White, your current points leader in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. 4 minutes to go here in this warm-up session at Kansas Speedway. All right. So Maddox Beard now goes second on the timing sheets. What a lap by him. He is really, really doing solid. Maddox Beard also needs a solid day tonight if he wants to stay inside of playoff contention. Of course, early in the season, we're really out of contention now. Currently sits 13 to the good. So not a bad buffer at all, of course, but not completely safe. All right, back in the 1 and 2 here goes Cameron Chandler in the 88. And there's that 94 of CJ Erdman once again now down this front stretch. Back into 1 and 2 he'll go. Oh, got a car crashing. That's Max DeFilippi who just went around. Matthew White
What is he doing?
Matthew White now goes fastest. Oh, there's Cole Clausen in the middle of the track. There's a car on the wall. That's the 88. Cherry now fastest. What a lap by Richard Cherry. My goodness, it is switching around. Still unknown who's going to win pole here tonight. Oh, spinning. There goes CJ Erdman for a slide. He'll spin in front of, I believe that's Keaton Converse in the 19. About a minute and a half to go in this warm-up session. Of course, qualifying is coming up 2 laps as always, like at these mile and a halves. For pole position. After all of this, sorry about that. After all of this I've seen so far tonight, I'm really kind of unsure who I'm going to see on pole. Because my goodness, it has been really highly contested at the top of the board. There are top 8 or 9 drivers. There goes Trenton Wilkin around into the wall. All right, 45 seconds left. Alexander Ortega are going to go back-to-back here. He's been so good at the mile and a half this season, just really hasn't been able to get the job done at the end. Can tonight be his day? The driver of the 32. Trying to get his 2nd win of the season. After winning at the Glen last week, or not even last week, Xfinity had a few off weeks. Of course, that was the final Xfinity break of the season. It's going to be all green besides next week. After next week, when Cup has his final off week, it's going to be all go until the end of the year. 7 straight weeks. After we have Daytona coming up in 2 weeks' time. All right. Here we go from Kansas Speedway tonight. This is the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series live at Kansas. Qualifying is now underway. Of course, like I said, 2 laps as always for pole position. Who is going to win the pole? That's the biggest question we got here tonight. Lots of really quick race cars here in practice. We'll see who's ultimately going to end up on pole position. Here goes Cole Clausen heading to 3 and 4 in that 5 machine. There's Trenton Wilkin. There is the 28 of Joseph Lewis, Jacob Clarino on 33. There's Robert McCain, Christian Herklotz. There is Keaton Converse. He was top of the board for a little bit. Finished top 10 in practice. Down the front stretch he goes. And back in a 1 and 2 for Converse. Lewis on the racetrack. Wilkins still sitting on pit road. Here comes Rojan Koch on to the track. Of course, pole position also, as usual, awarded a bonus point. Rojan Koch currently sits outside the playoff cut line, of course. He's going to need a good 2 races to even have a chance. To the wall goes Chandler a bit. He's going to, I think, pull it down. Don't know what happened to Cameron. Cole Clausen, first car over the line. Converse now fastest. Herklotz is 2nd. Here goes McCain back on a 1 and 2. McCain is 4th. So lap number 1 looks like might be the setup lap. We'll see what lap 2 brings. Here comes Keaton Converse down in the 3 and 4. Impressive so far in his Xfinity debut. Currently top of the board. Down the front stretch he will roll. Clarino is 3rd, or 4th, I should say. Was this an improvement for Converse? I don't believe it was. So that's his lap. Cole Clausen still in a lap. Still a ton of heavy hitters to go. This isn't even close to being over. Here comes that 88. That is Cameron Chandler. Down the front stretch he goes. Across the line now for Cameron. What is it going to be? Just actually starting his lap time, because remember, he had that issue. Cherry is fastest. He's now on provisional pole. Here comes Zane Rahman down the front straightaway in that 6 machine. Lewis slots in 10th as there's the 12 of DeFilippi. He is done. Alexander Ortega could be a threat for pole position after winning at the Glen. Oh, there's Trent Wilkin around. I think his qualifying may be over. Cameron Chandler 4th on lap 1. Still about 3/10 off. What's lap 2 going to bring? Down on the bottom of the racetrack he goes as he heads down the back straightaway. Michael Gregory there in the 5 car. Currently 10th. DeFilippi has crashed. Here comes Cameron Chandler. Up the final corner he goes. Back down this front straightaway. What is it going to be for Cameron? Across the line. He backs it down. He's 3rd. Gregory is now 4th. Still, can anyone knock Richard Cherry off pole position? Looks like lap 2 for some of these drivers is an improvement. Looking across the line now. I believe now just starting his lap. Ortega is 6th. Wilkin will start his opening lap. Got about 1 minute and 13 seconds to go. Here's Cole Wilson. He's gonna want to get Cherry off pole position because Cherry would gain a bonus point from that in their battle for the regular season championship. It could be locked up tonight by Richard Cherry if he scores enough points over Cole Wilson. Back into 1 and 2 goes that 22 machine. Here's CJ Ehrman. He's loose, almost going around. Converse, currently 2nd. Wilkin is now 3rd. That's his opening lap. Well, Ortega, he is 6th officially. Wilkin down the back stretch trying to improve. Here's Zane Rahman. Here comes Cole Wilson. Off the final corner he goes. Don't know if he's on a lap time right now. It's going to have to be if he is. It's only about 27 seconds to go. He is done. Cole Wilson is all the way. Now he's now 4th. Okay. Zane Rahman, the only one on the racetrack. 14 seconds to go. Clicking down. Rahman's not gonna have enough time to finish his lap time. And that will mean it's going to be Richard Cherry on pole position here in Kansas. What a lap by the driver of the 29. He'll be on pole. He'll have Keaton Converse starting to his outside at his Xfinity Series debut tonight. And that'll not be good news for Cole Wilson. He's, of course, going to lose a point on Cherry. Cherry going to gain a point on the regular season championship battle. But that still looks ahead to Daytona in 2 weeks. As we welcome you live for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series live at Kansas Speedway. It's race number 12 of the Xfinity Series season. Just 2 races to go before the playoffs. And this is the final mile and a half of the regular season. It happens at Kansas Speedway tonight. Let's go over your starting grid. So, of course, on pole position, that's going to be the 29 of Richard Cherry. To his outside, going to be Keaton Converse. Row number 2 will consist of Maddox Beard and Cole Wilson. Wilkin, Chandler, Gregory, Ortega, Herklotz, and Clausen around at your top 10. You got the rest of the top 20 and then the rest of the field rolling across the left side of your screen. All right, we are in Kansas tonight for the second to last race of the regular season. Of course, halfway break going to be at the end of lap 45. Bonus point already handed out to Richard Cherry from having the pole position, so he will gain yet another point on 22 of Cole Wilson, trying to lock up his regular season title tonight. "90 laps around the Kansas Speedway here tonight from Kansas City, Kansas. We are just about ready to go racing. Here we go in Kansas. Just 2 races to go before the Xfinity Series playoffs get underway. The car is going to roll off the grid. All right. This is Kansas. This is the Xfinity Series. And we are just about ready to go racing. So obviously you'll be able to make it the end on fuel like always here in the Xfinity Series. Usually not an issue. They're going to come to check pit road speed and check their pit boxes this time by. So we will have drivers that are mathematically, we already had some that will have even more that are mathematically out of playoff contention after tonight. We'll just have to wait and see who those drivers are. All right, here they come. Here they come. Going to check pit road speed this time by Richard Cherry, your points leader, and now your pole sitter going to lead them down. And we'll check pit road speed as usual. It's crunch time in the Xfinity Series playoffs. Of course, let's take one more look at your playoff bubble entering tonight. Of course, Scott Pfeiffer just +5 on CJ Erdman as that battle continues. Ortiz -7, Moon -10, and Harklot's down -20. So it's going to be interesting to see how that continues for the rest of tonight. Hearing we had a bit of an issue on pit road. I don't know where it is. I think that all got sorted out. Colorino actually has damage. Apparently there was a wreck on pit road. Colorino in the 33 has her damage already, so I don't understand what happened. We're coming to green this time by. Apparently he hit the pit wall. That's a story to look out for the 33 of Jacob Colorino, but here we go. Ready to go racing at Kansas Speedway. Richard Cherry. Keaton Converse had an issue as well. He's back there. We're coming green, a bit of a messy start, but we're underway in Kansas for the Xfinity Series. 2 races to go before the playoffs.
Wow, this was a very confusing start. We didn't even get the green until we went across the line. That was very weird.
Heading into 1 and 2 they go, side by side for second place. Maddox Beard on the inside of Cole Wilson as they head down this back straightaway opening time in Kansas. Very weird start. I haven't seen that before. Door to door, here's the crew turns 3 and 4. Wilson around the outside, trying to get the lead away from Matt, or second place away from Beard. As Cherry's going to lead the opening lap. Still though, side by side for second. Beard looking to the inside on Cole Wilson. Back into 1 and 2 they go. Beard going to try to clear him into 1 and 2, and now down this back straightaway they head. Converse waiting in the wings, currently 4th. Side by side back into turns 3 and 4. Car coming to pit road. That's Keaton Converse. No, he's not. He's going to miss pit road. I don't understand what just happened there. As we got a big battle. 3 wide, 4 wide, down the front straightaway as they bang doors into 1. Wilkin on the inside, through the middle. Outside, there's the 32 of Ortega. They're all over each other. It's also a battle for the lead. Here's Cole Wilson looking at the inside of your leader, Richard Cherry, up front, top 2 in points. Wilson going to just drive around Cherry. New leader in Kansas. They're still side by side, multiple lanes deep behind him. Chandler going to clear Michael Gregory here for 5th place. There's Wilkin in line. CJ Ehrman as well. All chaos going down the front straightaway. 3 wide almost again as they head back into 1 and 2. Chandler now inside of his teammate and driver, the 32 of Alexander Ortega. They squeeze each other back into 3 and 4. Chandler going to take that spot away. Ortega maybe going to fall 2 positions. Here's Michael Gregory to his rear bumper. Early chaos here at Kansas. Lap 5 is underway. We've been all green so far, though, as they'll head back into 1 and 2. Side by side here, Clarino, of course, got damage on the pace lap. on pit road, checking pit road speed. This battle currently for 11th and 12th. Cole Clausen to the inside of the third core of Christian Herklotz. Aiden Donahue waiting back there in 14th. Big drop off the rest of the field behind him. Up front there is DeFelipe trying to look to the inside of Ronan Suarez as they head down this backstretch once again. Erdman falling out of line a little bit. There's the one of Trenton Wilkin as well. Side by side, there's Erdman nearly to the wall. 12 of DeFelipe on the inside, going to clear up on Ronan Suarez. Up into the top 10 goes that 12 machine of DeFelipe. Currently in 9th. Marino around Cole Clausen and Aiden Donahue. Got 3 spots already. He's up to 11th place. Michael Gregory on the back bumper here of Alexander Ortega. Battle for 5th place. Maddox Beard was passed by Cameron Chandler. That 88 is on a run to the top of the field. Here he goes to the inside of Cheery for 2nd place already. Cameron Chandler going for the top spot as well. Trying to get a run down this front straightaway on Cole Wilson. He's clear on Cheery. Here comes that 88 car. As they head back into 1 and 2. He's got a run on Cole Wilson. Battle for the race lead. He's looking inside. Wilson will defend. Of course, these two the team owners of Chandler Wilson Racing. Here's Chandler looking inside ever so slightly to the quarter panel. Battle for the race lead. 9 laps into Kansas. Wilson loose in the outside lane, and Cameron Chandler's going to clear. He is your new leader at Kansas. Battle back here, Ortega and Wilkin. Hang out side by side. Max DeFelipe looking to the inside of the 5 of Michael Gregory. Good battles all around the top 10, of course. Pretty hot day at Kansas. Some cloud cover, but still very slick racetrack all around. 10 laps in now, and all green. Here's Wilkin looking inside on the 32 of Alexander Ortega. 2 former winners of the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup or Xfinity Series. Ortega, of course, just won 2 weeks ago at Watkins Glen. Wilkin has multiple wins. 1 on the road course at Spa in Season 2 and 1 at Homestead that year as Max DeFelipe had a big moment, able to correct that race car and keep going in the right direction. Back into 1 and 2 they go. Battle here between Cheery and Wilson for 2nd place. Top 2 in points. Here is Cheery inside on the 22. Wilson, of course, needs to do more, and he needs Cheery to fall back if that battle wants to be mathematically alive. He's on his bumper here. Battle for 2nd place, trying to retake this position for Richard Cheery. Blocking back there as well, there's Wilkin and 32 of Ortega. Wilson are able to re-clear the 29. Oh, almost contact. There's Michael Gregory to the back bumper of that 1. Moving up the racetrack, and they're side by side now down the back straightaway. Gregory going to take now 6th place away from Trenton Wilkin. Battle up front still about 3 cars in for it. Cheery a little bit loose as they head down the front stretch yet again. Side by side again. Maybe Wilkin will get a repay the favor on Michael Gregory. Probably wasn't too happy about that. It'll pass him heading back into 1 and 2. Oh, he's a little bit loose. Gregory now on his bumper is to head down the back straightaway. Still the 3 car all nose to tail battle for the race lead here at Kansas. Where's Wilson going to go? They all run the bottom through 1 and 2. Seems like it's been a lot of bottom running to maybe save tires early on. When will we see these drivers maybe start to use the wall as the run continues to go on tonight? Got a battle here. Aiden Donahue to the inside of Max DeFelipe for 9th. He'll take that spot away now. Going to be on the bumper of Ronan Suarez. Jacob Clarino apparently brought it to pit road. He is now 3 laps down. Of course, he had damage from that incident on pit road. Donnie backs it up ever so slightly. Here's that 12 to his bumper. Oh, Max DeFilippi, he is loose. Really sliding that thing around. Just trying to ride along with somebody. Sorry about that. We're riding along with the 12 of DeFilippi. Battle up front, though, for the race lead. Cole Wilson pressuring the 88 of Cameron Chandler, his teammate. And co-owner now maybe a 5-way battle up front. 0.6 of a separate to separate the top 5. Ooh, Wilson loose. Cherry now pressuring him to the inside he goes for second. Cherry gonna clear Cole Wilson. Now your pulse to Richard Cherry gonna try to run down Cameron Chandler. Now to the inside goes Ortega on Mannix Beard. Of course, if Richard Cherry outscores Cole Wilson in any way tonight, he will be your regular season championship champion no matter what. Big slide there on Ortega. He is loose at him, Mannix Beard. Oh, and the wall goes Wilkin. He is spinning on the back straightaway. This is gonna be a huge hit. Hard on the wall goes the 1. That'll be race over for Trenton Wilkin. No caution yet. We're currently green. He's out of the way, so there's no reason for a yellow. It looks like, unless he doesn't get going here, we'll stay green. He'll we'll reset the pit road, and that's going to be unfortunate, though, for the driver of the 1. Was running inside of the top 10. Looks like he made a little bit of contact there with Michael Gregory. We're actually going to take a bit of a ride back, see what ultimately led up to that contact. So they're side by side through 1 and 2. They were having a bit of a battle. Oh, Michael Gregory just door slams the 1 of Wilkin and turns him into the wall. Not really sure what was going on there. Have to see what happens post-race. Obviously, Wilkin not going to be too happy with 5. Gregory jumps to the bumper of the 1 or the 8 of Mannix Beard. Of course, Michael Gregory is full-time in the Xfinity Series. Wilkin is full-time in the Cup Series. So Gregory's got more on the line for something like that. Of course, he's in a playoff battle right now. Doesn't want to lose any points. He's to the inside, though, of that 8-car Mannix Beard. Side-by-side battle now for 5th place. Gregory clear on Beard. He's up the 5th. Now still battling for the race lead is Chandler and Cherry. About 25 laps to go to the halfway break. Chandler, he's looking a little bit loose now. Cherry trying to run him back down. Of course, Richard Cherry entered this race plus 34 on Cole Wilson. If he nets gains, if he scores any more than Wilson tonight, then he definitely is going to lock up the regular season title no matter what. Battle now side by side down this backstretch between Mannix Beard and Alexander Ortega. Ronan Suarez trying to squeeze his nose down for this one as well. This is currently for 5th. Gregory is as well just get around to Ortega. I think that 32 is beginning to fall off. Aiden Donahue to the inside of Ronan Suarez now. He'll pass it. Up to 7th goes Donahue. Of course, Donahue won at Rockingham this season. Down the backstretch they go. The 8 of Mannix Beard following in behind that 32 of Ortega. They roll into 3 and 4 currently, single file. Up front still, top 3 separated by about 0.4 of a second. Here's Gregory running in 4th. The battle for 5th on back with Ortega. Still only 23 laps in here at Kansas. Cameron Chandler has been fastest lap so far tonight. Your 3 leaders are your pulse leader, Cheery, Wilson, and then, of course, Cameron Chandler. Side by side out here is at 82 of Donahue to the inside of Maddox Beard for 6th. And he'll take that spot away easily. Aiden Donahue is coming up through the field. Might now start to pressure that 32 of Alexander Ortega. We know Aiden Donahue probably very good at maybe a hotter, slick racetrack, and he's now going to battle here with Ortega. Your winner at Watkins Glen this season, side by side with Rockingham winner. Oh, he's going to nearly get put in the wall. Aiden Donahue will. He'll go up the racetrack, into the wall, into the marbles he goes. Luckily, he'll save that race car. Ortega and him battled side by side, nearly contact, as they head back down the backstretch in the 3 and 4. Now Cherry maybe going to start to pressure Cole Wilson here for 2nd. Back on a 1 and 2 they go. There's Donahue in the 82 up the racetrack. He is sideways, trying to hang on to that thing. My goodness, Aiden Donahue was on fire, but once he got slid up the racetrack by the 32 of Ortega, it looks like his lap time just maybe began to fall off. Your current leader, Chandler, heads down the front stretch yet again now. Here's Cole Wilson starting to pressure Richard Cherry. He'll be down to the inside for 2nd place as they head back into 1 and 2. Ooh, Cherry again, once again a little bit loose. Wilson to the inside. Gonna try to power around him. He's loose again though, but he'll clear it. Riding along with Cherry, who is now back to 3rd place. Ooh, Cherry a little bit loose there. Wilson a little bit loose. We'll just watch right along here with Cherry for a lap, see how loose these race cars are getting, and how much they're having to work the front. They're just working as smoothly as they can. Battle here side by side. Around the outside goes Aiden Donahue. You saw it from the bumper of Cherry. Door to door through 1 and 2 now. Leaning on each other a little bit. Ooh, a little bit loose there for Ortega. Almost going to door slam the 82. Side by side though, down the back straight with these two cannot stop battling. Ortega trying to re-clear Donahue. He will. Back up inside the top 5 goes Ortega. Donahue now back to 6th. 16 now to go to the halfway break, and Cameron Chandler is starting to extend his lead over Cole Wilson by about a 2nd. Here's that 82. Donahue not giving up just yet. Ortega up the racetrack big time. He'll get tight. Has to lift, and Donahue going to take 5th away. Michael Gregory now to the bumper of Cherry. The 5 to the inside here, down the front stretch yet again. Ooh, he's loose on the apron. Almost got that thing sideways. Coming back onto the racetrack. Donahue now ripping the boards through 1 and 2. We'll see what the 82 can bring. Momentum coming. Cherry sideways. Michael Gregory trying to get to his inside though. Side by side down the front back straightaway. Where is Donahue gonna go? 82 Donahue files his line. Way to the inside of Cherry, who might lose 2, maybe 3 spots here. Trying to hold on side by side down the front stretch yet again. And he'll get cleared by Donahue. Ortega in the 82 or 32 up the racetrack as well. And he's going to now battle with that 29 Cherry. He gets him loose at the bottom. 2 Xfinity Series winners this season, battling for 5th place. Ortega there on Cherry to his quarter panel. Gets that 29 a little bit loose. Final spot inside the top 5 currently up for grabs. Cherry is falling his way back through the field. That is exactly what Cole Wilson wants to see. Now Maddox Beard going to get around him. Cherry back to 7th, and here's Ronan Suarez. He cannot stop falling. Richard Cherry back to 8th place. My goodness. He is beginning to struggle in that 29 machine. So right along with him to see what he's struggling with. He's doing everything he can, just cannot get that throttle down all the way. Tires are definitely screaming for the driver of the 29. Here we go, Ronan Suarez loose on the apron, but he's to the inside of Maddox Beard. Heading back into 1 and 2. Cameron Chandler now extending his gap to 1.1 seconds. In the wall a little bit goes Beard in that 8 car. Ooh, hitting the apron, there's the 31 of Ronan Suarez. Up the racetrack he goes now. Richard Cherry coming with momentum. He is loose as well, down the front straightaway. Ooh, Aiden Donahue, I thought he got the wall a little bit. I think he avoided it. He is just so high up in the racetrack. He is sideways! Oh my goodness, Aiden Donahue almost goes around, but he will save it and keep going in the right direction. That was nearly a big wreck for Aiden Donahue, but luckily he keeps going. One of the best in the business to do it on these mile and a half in these slick conditions, but he is still, again, completely sideways. But all green, 36 laps in, 10 to go till the halfway break. Of course, all 10 get stage points. Cole Wilson would love to finish here, 2nd in the stage. Cherry back in 8th. This would gain him points for that regular season championship battle, but he's got 2 fast cars, Gregory and Donahue behind him. And here's Gregory to the inside. Battle for 2nd place. Wilson is loose. He has to back out of it. Michael Gregory, who's been saving his tires nicely, up to P2. Now Aiden Donahue, he was sideways a couple laps ago, and he's back on track and going to battle now for 3rd place with Cole Wilson. 5th place is Ortega, 6th Beard, 7th Suarez, 8th Cherry. All the way back in that 8th position, not having the last few laps he wanted to have. Really, really good race so far tonight here at Kansas. Chandler now 1.4 second lead over Michael Gregory, Richard Cherry, Cole Wilson, and Aiden Donahue. Of course, inside the top 5, they're all NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series winners, besides the 5 car of Michael Gregory. Looking for his first ever Xfinity win tonight. Currently runs P2 and may even begin to start to run Cameron Chandler down. I don't think he'll have enough time before the end of the stage to catch him, but might be setting up for later in the race, maybe. Maddox Beard, Alexander Ortega battling for 5th place. Of course, stage points are so important here late in the regular season. Every point matters. For drivers on the playoff bubble, and of course, drivers battling for that regular season title, which Cole Wilson is doing. Cherry would currently get 3 stage points, and Wilson would get 8. That would be enough to now keep it alive heading to Daytona, but still got, of course, the race points to come after that. Gregory being able to run down that number 88 of, I got a car off the pace, that is McCain, I believe, in the 97. Just 6 to go now to the halfway break. A really nice drive up through the field for Aiden Donahue, who started outside the top 10. We know how good he is in this Xfinity Series. All-time wins leader and your Season 2 Xfinity champion. Car on the wall, that's Ortega. I thought he hit the wall a little bit. Looks like he's gonna mostly keep it out of it as they head down the back stretch yet again. There's that 88 of Chandler. After he's been out took the lead about lap 15, he's been dominant ever since. But Michael Gregory is not letting him get away. Neither is Donahue or Cherry. Or I keep calling Wilson Cherry for some reason. Cole Wilson there in the 22. little bit loose. Now Donahue going to try to close up to his bumper. Ooh, Ron Suarez very loose here on the backstretch, nearly going to get that thing turned around. We've seen 3 or 4 cars now have that issue. Looking here, that's a battle for 9th place between CJ Erdman and Christian Herklotz. Erdman needs some good points. He entered just below the playoff cut line. He's to the inside. Oh, he's going to try to clear himself there in the 4. Herklotz loose in the outside lane. He'll have to back out of it. They're side by side down the front straightaway with 3 to go now to the halfway break. As they will head back into 1 and 2. On the outside goes that 4 of Herklotz. Trying to clear on the 94 of Erdman. Door to door, heading back into 3 and 4 they go. Now Aiden Donahue and Cole Wilson, I think, battling for 3rd. With 2 to go to the stage. Donahue trying to muscle his way around. Wilson, though, making it tough. On the outside lane through 1 and 2 they go. Aiden Donahue up to 3rd. Cameron Chandler's been dropping lap times a little bit now. 5/10 of a second is the gap between him and Michael Gregory for the stage. Coming to 1 to go to the halfway break this time by. Final lap of the stage at Kansas. A lot of drivers probably looking for more fresh Goodyear tires here in a minute. As now Wilson was looking to the inside of Donahue for a second. They'll stay back in line in 4th. Still would be a net gain on him. I should say on Richard Cherry. Final time down the backstretch in the stage here at Kansas. Cameron Chandler going to make his way through 3 and 4. Second on the all times wins leader on in the Xfinity Series here. He'll come to the green and white checker flag to win the stage. Great points there from Michael Gregory. He'll be 2nd. Donahue 3rd. Wilson 4th. 5th, 6th. Maddox Beard, Ortega. There's Ron Suarez. There is Cherry to come across in P8. 9th and finally 10th place, CJ. Caution will come out. Here in Kansas, the halfway break is underway. And that will do it here from Kansas Speedway. We are halfway tonight. Ooh, Donahue. Looks like a little bit sideways there. All right, we'll be right back. Pit stops coming up at the halfway break. Welcome back live to Kansas Speedway here in the Xfinity Series. Cars are coming down pit road here for the halfway break. Of course, Cameron Chandler will win the stage. Cap 10 are on screen. As here we go. Halfway at Kansas. The Xfinity race. So everyone, of course, looking for fresh Goodyear tires. Going to pack it full of fuel to the end. This will be your final scheduled green flag, or pit stop of the day, I should say. Pretty good for the box for the most part for your top contenders. Max Beard had to back it up pretty good there. That'll lose some spots maybe. Again, he's still not in his box. Finally gets in there. 4 fresh tires. Good stop for Donahue back there off pit road first. Should be Cameron Chandler. 2nd, gonna be Michael Gregory. 3rd, Ortega gains a few spots. 4th, gonna be Cole Wilson. Jumps Donahue, who's 5th. Cherry gains a couple of spots. Jumps Suarez in another. There is Erdman. And there's Cole Clausen running off 10th. And there, of course, Maddox Beard lost so many spots on pit road. Gonna restart now outside the top 10 after having that big pit road issue. All right, halfway at Kansas Speedway tonight. There's your current leader, Cameron Chandler. Of course, top now 6 drivers, Chandler, Ortega, Wilson, Donahue, and Cherry, all have Xfinity Series wins, besides Michael Gregory. He's the only one inside the top 6 that hasn't won in the Xfinity Series, even this season. coming to the choose. First time tonight, working only the first caution flag of the day as well. Inside goes Chandler, outside to Gregory. Choosing back here, 2 cars go inside. There's 31 around in Suarez. A bunch of cars go outside now. Of course, we went completely green the first half. All right, this will have Chandler and Gregory on the front row for the restart. Of course, remember, Michael Gregory there on the longer run looked very, very good. He was trying to run down that 88. Actually had really good space to do that. We're going to restart on lap 50. Side by side down this back straightaway, coming to the restart from Kansas. Just one more stage remains at Kansas Speedway tonight. Cameron Chandler has led the most laps so far, looking for career win 11. That would put him 1 away from the tying Aiden Donahue for the most Xfinity Series victories. Pace car to pit road. Cameron Chandler, Michael Gregory to the front row to the restart. We're back underway in Kansas. Good restart inside there, and Chandler. Ortega gets going well as well. Aiden Donahue as well gets going. Michael Gregory in the outside lane doesn't get going as well as good as all, so I can't talk on the opening lap here. Side by side, Donahue to the inside of that 32 of Ortega. As they head down the back straightaway. He's going to lose behind him. Side by side, though, outside didn't get going at all. We got a door-to-door battle here, squeezing each other back into 3 and 4. These two were tight in the first stage. Donahue going to clear maybe for second place. No, he isn't. Now he is. Ortega going to be back to 30. He's all over his back bumper, though, not giving up that easily. Back into 1 and 2 they go. He may send him. He's on his bumper. He's going to wreck Donahue. The 82 is sideways. Ahead of Cole Wilson. He somehow saves it. They're all over each other. Here comes Cherry. They're 3 wide. My goodness. Cole Clausen at the bottom as well. CJ Erdman through the middle. There's that 29 number Cherry side by side with Cole Wilson. My God. Donahue just got the boot given to him by the 32 of Ortega. Gregory now to 9th. Look at this mess back here. Ooh, sideways is Keaton Converse. Up the racetrack he goes. There's the 31 around in Suarez. They're going to squeeze each other 3 wide almost down this backstretch. Alexander Ortega just ran through that 82 of Donahue. Donahue, no, not going to be happy about that one. Will he try to repay the favor now? Here we go. Inside is Maddox Beard on CJ Erdman. Going to take that spot away. Erdman way up the racetrack, but he runs 7th. Better than he was in the first half. Here we go. Donahue is to the bumper of Ortega yet again. This could get interesting. He's all over his back bumper. Gives him a bit of a shove through 3 and 4. He's going to get him loose. Way up the racetrack goes Ortega. Into the wall a little bit. Oh, cut down. Nearly going to right hook him. Actually gets back in line. Here comes Cole Wilson to the inside as well. And he's looking inside now on Donahue. Ortega through the middle. Oh, he's going to maybe send the 82 again. Donahue sideways. Ortega up the racetrack. Here comes Cherry. Donahue has a little bit of quarter panel damage. Not sure how much that's going to affect him, though. So allowing Cameron Chandler to pull away by 1.6 seconds already. There is Ortega to the bottom. They're side by side again. Donahue's got to be fuming with the driver of the 32 Ortega. Here's the automatic Spirit to the outside on the 32 of Ortega. Into the wall goes Cole Clausen. 3 wide down the back stretch again. Ortega back to the bumper of Donahue. Will they be clean this time? We'll see. Back on a 1 and 2. Big send for Ortega. On the bottom of the racetrack he goes. Donahue's still there outside. He's going to push him way up the racetrack. Side by side they go. Really aggressive with each other. They side draft. Ortega gonna take the spot away. Here's Maddox Spirit to the inside as well on the 82. Donahue getting swallowed up the line. Michael Gregory to the bottom as well in the 5. Now Cameron Chandler with a 1.7 second lead. DeFilippi loose in the bottom. Donahue, he has an issue. I think that quarter panel damage is really starting to affect him. Keaton Converse now going to pass him. He is all the way back to 10th. Sorry, 9th. Maybe 10th with Cole Clausen there battling for position. Here is Greger to the inside of Maddox Beard. Had a terrible restart on the outside and just fell all the way back to 9th, trying to recover the best he can after restarting in P2. Ooh, contact Gregory on the bottom. Nearly door slams that 8 of Maddox Beard. Now here comes Ortega to the inside of Cherry. Cherry up the racetrack big time. He'll lose another spot to the 5 of Michael Gregory. And here comes the 12 of DeFilippi and the 8 of Maddox Beard. 3 wide almost. Down this front straightaway through the middle goes that 29. Cherry now with some trouble. Whew, just time to catch your breath. My God. Last 10, 15 or so laps have been outstanding. Gregory now battling here on the bumper of Ortega. To the outside he goes. Looking to get up inside the top 3. We know that 5 car is quick. Just had the restart issues. Here's the 94 of Erdman to the inside of the 8 of Beard. A little bit loose there for DeFilippi. He's in the wall. Trying to save it. He's currently running inside the top 5. What a run for Max DeFilippi tonight. Racetrack he goes, coming to 30 laps to go at Kansas. This time by, still a ways to go. Not gonna probably go away quickly. And no cautions for cause. The only caution was the halfway break. Honestly shocked after the racing we've seen so far tonight. Cherry to the inside will clear DeFilippi. Now DeFilippi into the hands of Maddox Beard. Battle for 6th place. He's coming around the outside. There's Erdman in that 94. And Ron is Suarez to the bottom as well. Erdman, or I should say Donahue back to 10th. We're still with that quarter panel damage affecting him. Ooh, big send there from 31 Ron and Suarez. Loose in the bottom he goes. Moves the 94 of Erdman way up the racetrack. Now Donahue to the inside of the 94 car. He is falling back through the field again. Christian Herklot's back here in the 4. To the inside of Erdman. Oh, Erdman way up the racetrack, nearly to the wall. Battle now. Here's the 8 of Maddox Beard to the inside of DeFilippi, and the 31 of Suarez is coming with him. Maddox Beard up into the 6th place. Cherry now to the inside of Gregory. He'll take 4th away. Still about 1.7 second lead for Cameron Chandler. Over Cole Wilson, Alexander Ortega, Richard Cherry, Michael Gregory, Maddox Beard, DeFilippi, Suarez, Donahue, and Herklotz. Side by side now, DeFilippi and Maddox Beard once again back at a 1 and 2. This battle not going away. Up the racetrack goes the 8. Up the racetrack again goes the 12 and 3 wide through 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Beard going to get the best of it. He'll get out front with 6th. Right now, Ron and Suarez trying to take 7 away from DeFilippi. Here's the 82 of Donahue trying to do anything he can to recover. DeFilippi all over the back bumper of Suarez. 3 wide down the front stretch back into 1 and 2. Keaton Converse in 12th. There's Herklotz and 94 of Erdman as well. Herklotz away at the racetrack, nearly into the wall. They're battling up front as well. Side by side, maybe for 2nd or 3rd place. Cherry on the bumper of the 32 of Ortega. Ortega has been really aggressive tonight. How hard is he going to fight that 29? Of course, both Xfinity Series regulars. Only one inside the top 8 that isn't an Xfinity Series regular is Cameron Chandler, of course, full-time in the Cup Series. After tonight, Cameron Chandler will be full-time in the Xfinity Series booth the rest of the season, so bit of an announcement there. Will join me and maybe some other star commentators to finish out the Xfinity Series season. As here we go to the inside goes that 29 of Cheery, side by side with Ortega. They make contact. I believe that was Cheery that just door slammed them way up the racetrack. I don't know how Ortega's going to react to that one. He's not happy at all. Oh, Big Sen nearly takes him out. That could have been bad. Ortega loose again. Here's Gregory to the outside. Ortega's been the star of the show as of late, but not for good reasons. Now Michael Gregory looking to take 4th place away. He's clear. As they hold back at a 1 and 2 this time by. Ortega, he is just going hard on everyone tonight for some reason. Racing goes a little bit. Battle up front, 1.4 seconds between Chandler and Wilson. It's a little bit closer than it has been. Chandler on the very long run fell off to Michael Gregory before, so we'll see what happens. Maybe he's just tire saving, we don't know. Up the racetrack, big time Ortega. Nearly into the wall. Here comes Gregory to his inside. Back into 3 and 4 they go. Ortega finally just lets somebody go around him without creating an issue. And Ortega back to 5th place. Oh, maybe not. He's back to the inside, cutting down low in the apron. Ortega gonna re-clear Michael Gregory on the bottom. Oh, he's gonna slide away up the racetrack. Gregory now crossover move down low. He gets him loose into the wall almost. Ortega, he'll save it, keep it out of the fence. Here comes Beard in the gate car as well. Ortega has a blink. Maddox Beard to the bumper of the 32. Gregory gonna lose the spot here to Beard, and that may be Ron and Suarez as well. Where Gregory aggressive on Beard as they head down the front stretch, 20 laps to go. Race for the lead, 9/10 of a second, now 8/10 of a second. Cole Wilson is closing the gap to Cameron Chandler. Ooh, here comes the 5, Gregory back outside on the 8 of Maddox Beard. Ortega still holding on to 4th. Up the racetrack goes Maddox Beard again. Michael Gregory trying to retake this spot. Back in a 1 and 2 they roll at Kansas. Under 20 to go. This Ron and Suarez was a little bit loose there. Battle up front, 8/10 of a second between Cameron Chandler and Cole Wilson. Wilson, of course, like I said, been running faster than Cameron. Is Cameron maybe saving some? We'll have to wait and see as the run continues. Of course, we've had no natural cautions so far tonight. It's been all green besides the stage break. Here's Ortega in the 32. Down the back stretch we roll. There's a lot of drivers at the bottom of the racetrack. No one has really, besides maybe Aiden Donahue, Cameron Chandler late in the run, has really started to run the outside lane towards the wall. Spear now back to the bumper of Ortega, gonna maybe get him a little bit loose. Here comes Gregory to the bottom as well, maybe even 3 wide for a second. Beard though to the inside of Ortega for 4th place. Where's the 5 at Gregory gonna go? Beard, big send inside. Ortega has not been a fan favorite amongst the drivers so far tonight. Currently side by side for 4th place. To the outside, he's trying to roll momentum. Beard down low. Can Gregory maybe take advantage of something? Maybe make it 3 wide. We'll have to see. Oh, man, Xfinity is loose. Here comes Gregory back around the outside lane. He'll take 5th way. That 5 car's got momentum. He's going to get to the bumper of Ortega. He's all over his back bumper. He's there again. He's to the inside, looking low in the 32. Gregory, we know how good he is in the longer runs. He's loose, though. Into the wall goes Ortega. Here comes Gregory. Trying to just clear it. Ortega gonna maybe not give up. He's gonna send it back down to the inside as well. Oh my goodness, Gregory sideways. Ortega gets him again, and they're side by side. Suarez and Beard make contact. Here comes Suarez through the grass a little bit. This is chaotic. And now battle for second. Here comes Cherry to the inside of Cole Wilson. This is not what Wilson wanted to see. He was gaining on Chandler. Now Cherry passes him. All of a sudden, Wilson falling off. Can Cherry run down Chandler? 13 to go in Kansas. And it will be close to see if Cherry will lock up the regular season championship and finishes like this. Still, this 4-car battle for about 4th place has been raging on for 20 or so laps. And Alexander Ortega has been in front of all of it, I feel like. "12 laps to go. Ortega in the wall. Big hit there. He's sliding way up the racetrack. Here's Maddox Beard to the inside of him. In a 1 and 2 battle for 5th place. Maddox Beard having a really, really good day. Same thing with Ron and Suarez. Ortega just trying to hold on. He's up the racetrack again, almost to the wall. Beard clear. Now Suarez to the inside. Oh, almost contact. 32 sideways as they head down the front straightaway. Door slamming, there they go, way up the racetrack. Here comes Ortega to the bottom. 3 wide through 1 and 2. Oh, they lean on each other, and they're crashing. There they go, down the back straightaway. Suarez gonna spin. Caution is out. First incident caution of the day comes with 11 laps to go in Kansas. This probably changes everything. Let's take a look. What happens? Finally, they all get together. Yellow is out. So 3 wide, heading back into 1 and 2 here. Up the racetrack there goes Maddox. The inside is 32 of Ortega. And then I think, oh yeah, Ortega gets loose and hits through 32, or 31 I should say, who's sideways already. Maddox Beard just get caught up in it as well, right along with 31 here, or I should say the 8 here. For Maddox Beard's POV. Yeah, they all just come together, and he just gets hooked there. Nowhere to go. Luckily, he saves it, keeps it going in the right direction. The caution will come out for the 31 going around. All right, I believe they're going to be on pit road here. This is the money stop. 10 to go. Caution is out. First incident caution of the night, just like that. And here we go, almost making contact on pit road. Everyone aggressively. This is it. 10 laps to go. Caution comes out for the first time besides the stage break. And everybody gonna come to pit road to get 4 fresh Goodyear tires. I'd assume no one's gonna take fuel here. Gonna wanna make the stop as fast as possible. Here we go, 4 fresh tires for everybody. Cherry's got that number 1 pit stall. What advantage will that give him? Chandler, good stop behind him. Here we go. Trying to roll off first. There goes Chandler. Cherry going to try to get a good stop as well. He'll roll off. It's going to be a big battle. He'll be second. I believe Wilson third. Gregory going to be fourth. Ortega going to be P5. 6th Erdman. 7th Herklotz. He gained some spots. Of course, Maddox Beard has to repair some damage. Same thing with Ron and Suarez. Aiden Donahue also repairing damage in the 82 car. Whew. My goodness. I mean, this race has been incredible so far tonight. And we're going to have about a 7 or so lap shootout to finish it. Come to the choose. I'm going to be really interested to see if Richard Cherry maybe chooses the bottom lane because how awful the restart was for the outside last time. Here we go.
I was joined like 10 minutes ago, and I've already been seeing the race, and it's been chaotic.
Ashton Miller now comes into the booth. Here we go. Choose. I don't know why Chandler kept it low. I guess he didn't go low enough, but whatever. That's going to allow bottom now Cherry. Outside going to be now Michael Gregory. So, like I said, Cherry going to choose the bottom, like I thought. That'll give row number 2, Cole Clausen. So many cars choose the bottom here. Cole Clausen's going to be row number 2 here.
Man, I can't believe how many cars chose the bottom. I couldn't miss that one starting on the second row, baby. We're going to be flying on this restart. Let's go.
Here,
I'm curious to see what Ortega is going to do with Richard Cherry after the incidents earlier.
I mean, yeah, Richard Cherry, Alexander Ortega, not really too many friends made tonight. A lot of drivers probably not too happy with him. 7 laps to go. Chandler has been dominant since he took the lead early in the race. But he's got lots of contenders behind him. Michael Gregory was fast. So was Cherry. He was closing up the gap. Cole Wilson, I don't know what happened to Cole Wilson. He had a bad pit stop or something. He'll be, actually, no, I don't know what happened to him. He chose weird. He's now 8th on the outside lane. This is great news for Cherry. Trying to lock up the regular season title. Pace cars in. 7 laps to go at Kansas. Chandler and Gregory side by side. Back underway. And that's a no, not much better restart at all. They stack up.
Oh.
Big stack up. Gregory, though, clear for second behind Chandler and ahead of Cherry. Ortega to 4th. Cole Clausen at the racetrack as well. They're crashing behind him. There goes the 31 of Suarez around into the wall. No caution yet. Yes, the caution's out. All right, there goes Suarez. Second time he's been causing 2 cautions so far tonight. 2 spins tonight that have caused yellows, and Suarez has been in both of them. Well, I don't know. That could have gotten away from that not being a yellow, but ultimately iRacing decided to throw it. Oh yeah, just hooked there, but 24 of Franklin. Right along with Eli Franklin here to see if we get a different POV. So I don't know if any of your leaders would pin here.
I would highly doubt it.
Oh yeah, just came from the racetrack. Hook's 31. Around goes Suarez into the wall pretty decently there. Was having a good run and then now involved in back-to-back incidents. Caution's out. Yeah, I don't think any of your leaders would pit. I mean, they have 1 set of tires left. They just only ran a few laps.
Track position's a lot more important, and they already pitted like literally not even a lap later.
Oh.
Or Ortega's coming in.
No, they're gonna fake. Clausen barely makes it out. My God, those fakes
Clausen, that's gonna be a pit road violation, man.
those fakes are getting pretty intense. My God, if this was Richmond last week, the Cup Series, I would have definitely said you're gonna pit. But it's not. That means we're gonna restart here. Coming to choose next time out. We'll restart with 3 to go. Won't be as green to my checkered, but it'll still be 3 laps to go. But my goodness, this has been such a race so far.
Knowing the rest of this race, we're about ready to get in overtime.
We might. We'll see. Cole Wilson up to 7th. Cherry in 3rd. If it finishes like this, Richard Cherry should be able to lock up the regular season title tonight. If he has a late race issue and Cole Wilson finishes somewhere in the top 5, then it will probably continue on to Daytona. So Richard Cherry has to exit plus 33 to the good on Cole Wilson to lock up that regular season title tonight. This has been such a fun one. Here we go, coming to the choose. This time by how will these drivers elect to choose? We're probably going to see Chandler inside. I don't doubt that. What will Gregory do? Will he go low? Maybe he'll go high, which worked out for him before. Chandler obviously goes low. Gregory going to go low. Cherry going to take the front row here. So will Ortega going to be row number 2. Inside Converse, low goes Clausen. Outside there goes Cole Wilson. He might gain a position or two. Here we go. 3 laps to go, going to be at Kansas. Michael Gregory, he has been so close to getting the lead here a few times. He's had issues. Can he do it this time? Looking for his first ever Xfinity Series win. How about Keaton Converse inside the top 5 now? Really, really benefited from that choose cone. Here we go. Time to hopefully finish this one off in Kansas.
I say we get at least one more wreck, unless they make it somehow.
We will see. It's been chaotic and aggressive throughout the field all day long, especially from Alexander Ortega. But here we go. 3 laps to go from Kansas Speedway. Chandler, Cherry, front row, back to green. Ooh, big stack up here. Oh, Herklotz gets shoved. Side by side for second place behind Chandler. As they head back into 1 and 2, Michael Gregory, though, clear on the 29 of Cherry. He'll now try to run down the 88 of Chandler as they're 3 wide, further back. Down the backstretch they go. Gregory's got to run. Where's he going to pull it? Coming to the white flag this time by Gregory, all of the back bumper of Cameron Chandler. Heats to the outside. 1 to go at Kansas. Final laps underway. Michael Gregory trying to come outside on Cameron Chandler as they head back into 1 and 2 for the final time. Car wrecking behind him, that's Ortega. Caution. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was too... oh, my God.
Yeah,
I
I was listening to you there, and I'm like, we got 2 to go.
I was...
just counting your laps there, man.
Ashton Miller said green, white, checkered. I don't know. Yeah.
I did. I was quiet.
That's,
Man, you blame it just to blame anyone, man.
Let's see what happened here to Ortega, who actually ended up saving it. This will now be green, white, checker, 2 to go. Just loses it all by himself. Saves it. I don't... Why was that a caution? iRacing. Why? So I don't understand this about iRacing cautions. So they don't throw a caution for a car completely sideways. I'm sorry. They don't throw a caution for a car hitting the wall head on before. They throw a caution for that. Ortega sideways. I know he's in front of cars, but still, I don't know why that was yellow. All right, so this will be 2 to go. Luckily, we got saved by a caution, so I'm not really going to mess up the call of the finish. Man, we were clean and green for the first, what, 85 or so laps, and then caution came out during the long green flag run, the first caution for incident of the day, and now we've had 2 others after that. Alright, so of course apologies for my little commentator mess up. Luckily it doesn't matter anymore. We're going to restart with 2 to go and that's final. Alright. Cameron Chandler looked like he had this one sealed up, even though Cherry was running him down there in the long run before. I mean, that feels like a race ago at this point. This feels like a completely different race. We're going to come to the choose again this time.
So there was some discussions about giving Max a penalty for maybe switching lanes, but it looked like he was just avoiding a wreck.
We will see.
So race control decided just to give him a warning.
Inside goes Gregory again. Cherry going to choose high. That'll give Chandler, of course, the lead. Cherry on the front row. Wilson, I think, gonna maybe gain up a spot or two in the second row now. Here we go. Try this again, overtime in Kansas. After what was such a clean and green race for the first 80 or so laps. 10 to go, caution comes out during a long green flag run, and now we have this. Here we go. Can Gregory get another good restart on the bottom? He needs Cheery not to get away good so he can battle Chandler for the lead. But Cameron Chandler looking to hold on for his 11th career Xfinity Series win. Of course, won here
This
last
is
season.
for tying Aiden.
It's to be one behind Aiden. Here we go, once again, overtime in Kansas. Chandler and Cheery. Outside's been terrible to getting going. We'll see what happens this time. We are green again, 2 laps to go. Oh, big stack up there for Cheery on the high lane. Not the greatest restart for Michael Gregory. No, it was a pretty good start. He is not clear, though, in the 29. Now he is. In the 1 and 2, they squeeze each other 3 wide. Back into 1 and 2. Gregory on the bumper of Chandler here. He's got to run. He's to the outside. Now looks inside. Chandler blocks. Down the back stretch they go. Cheery as well trying to look down low. Can they make it to the white flag?
Looks like they will.
Yes, they will. 1 lap to go. And here comes Michael Gregory. Final lap's underway. Gregory coming outside on Chandler. Chandler tries to block up through 1 and 2. But here comes the 5. Michael Gregory up top. Final time down the back straightaway. They're side by side for the race lead. Where's Cheery gonna go? He's down in the bottom. Gregory in the 5 in the outside lane. Chandler down low. They are side by side. They move each other up the racetrack. Here they come. Banging doors to the line. It's Chandler. Photo finish. My God.
Ooh.
What a finish! Cameron Chandler wins in Kansas.
Oh, and they're wrecking in the back.
Wow.
What a wreck. What a wreck. What a finish. What a
And
race.
Max DiFilippi is flipping on the backstretch.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
You don't want to know how that happened. You do not want to know.
And once
Michael.
again, Chandler misses the flip.
Michael Gregory so close to his first ever win. Ends up second in a photo finish, but it'll be Cameron Chandler. He wins in Kansas. What a finish. Unbelievable. I'm just impressed he was able to hold on. Definitely earned that one tonight. Led the most laps, won the stage. What a race to end this Xfinity Series season, of course. Like I said, he's full-time in the Cup Series. Bushwhacking, but he'll be full-time in the Xfinity Series booth for the rest of the season, starting in Daytona in 2 weeks.
Never mind, Max did not flip, but he did on my screen, but okay.
Wow. My gosh. What a race. There is the second place finisher, Michael Gregory, to come to congratulate the driver of the 88, Cameron Chandler. That is one hell of a way to finish this one off. My God. Whew. Post-race interviews coming up here in Kansas Speedway, as Cameron Chandler is your winner in Kansas, his 3rd win of the Xfinity Series season. His part-time starts, he won at USA this season. He also won at Darlington and now wins at Kansas in his final scheduled part-time start of the season. And he'll be looking to go sweep the weekends after winning iCar last night, winning tonight in the Xfinity race, and then trying to win tomorrow night, where he's full-time in the Cup Series. What a day in Kansas tonight. Post-race interviews are coming up from the Kansas Speedway. We got a lot to break down. Well, first of all, look at something here. So, of course, we were talking about it all day, the regular season championship battle between Richard Cherry and Cole Wilson. Like we said, coming all the way down to the wire. It was, of course, Cherry had an opportunity, like I said, to lock it up tonight. So, real quick, just give us a quick second. Of course, Cherry had finished one spot ahead of Wilson in the race, but Wilson finished multiple spots ahead of Cherry. And it will actually be alive heading to Daytona. Richard Cherry mathematically, technically, does not have your regular season championship right now. It is minus 32 for him. Of course, he had to exit minus 33 to be good. You can gain 32 points in a race. They would tie, that means, if Wilson somehow did that. And the tiebreaker would go to the most wins, which would then, that would be a tie for the most wins. And that would go to most laps led in the season, which we would have to see for that. It is currently, he was literally 1 point off from locking it up tonight. That's how close that was. My goodness. And now let's take a look at your finish. So it'll go to Daytona technically. I mean, it's going to be very unrealistic for Cole Wilson to actually get that. Once qualifying wraps up, if Cole Wilson isn't on pole next week in Daytona, Richard Cherry is your regular season championship champion guaranteed. And then let's look at the finish. Between Michael Gregory and Cameron Chandler. What a finish it was. Photo finish at the line. Side by side. Let's take a look at it. So Gregory was doing an outstanding job keeping on the outside. Final time, down the back stretch they went. Cherry was in line there as well. I thought he was going to try to make a move, just didn't have enough space to do anything. Side by side, they went through 3 and 4. Chandler ended up squeezing Michael Gregory up the racetrack a little bit. I think that's killed most of his momentum. Here they came to the line. That was the margin of victory. Lost the start-finish line. What a finish at Kansas Speedway tonight. And it finishes in a photo finish. And that's how close it was. Definitely not as close as I thought. It would have been, I mean, a lot closer. But it was definitely less than a car length. So, my goodness. What a day in Kansas. And that will wrap it up from the Kansas Speedway in the Xfinity Series tonight. Post-race interviews now coming up here from Kansas Speedway. All right, welcome live to the post-race show here in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series at Kansas Speedway tonight. Of course, Cole Wilson and Richard Cherry, they score, what happened here? Cole Wilson scores 2 more points than Cherry. He will stay in battle, technically, mathematically, for the regular season championship, but all Cherry will need to do next week is not have Wilson win the pole, and then he's got it locked up. Coming up first, though, going to be your winner, Cameron Chandler. Cameron Chandler, what a win, basically in a photo finish there with Michael Gregory. So, of course, it didn't come easy at all. You dominated most of this race tonight, but a late race caution came out, and then a few more after that to rack him back up, and he had to hold off Cherry, Gregory, and more. Just take me through those final few laps.
Yeah, those last few laps, I mean, I thought, especially with how fast we were towards the end of the stage, I thought we had an easy win as soon as the 32 and the 82 got together and wrecked each other and gave us such a big lead. But then all of a sudden, Cole Wilson and Cherry, they absolutely flew right up to me. And I'm honestly lucky that caution came out, because we would not have won the race if it wasn't for that. And yeah, we just had the lead for the restarts, and the bottom was so good. It's really tough to pass here for whatever reason on the top. The top was just completely ice. So you really just had to defend the bottom, and we kept picking the bottom, just kept the lead, and I'm glad we finally won again. It's been a really long time since we won anything. So yeah, iCar, and today, hopefully we can go get a third one of the night, week.
Yeah, so all odds are pointing to that happening tomorrow night. You're still mathematically involved for the regular season cup title, but I mentioned to you what you have to do for that. But yeah, you won iCar, which every iCar winner in season 2 has gone on to win the cup race this season, both Hunsaker and White. You guys think you can sweep the weekend tonight, become the first driver, I believe, this season to do that?
I mean, yeah, mile and a half tomorrow, so we've been pretty good there. I feel like we've had quite a few good shots to win the past few weeks. Just had some misfortune and bad crew chief, but we fired our old crew chief, so we're now taking 2 tires. And yeah, so hopefully as long as we can keep the track position, dirty air block it will be a lot easier than what it was today to defend. So hopefully we can get up there and hang on to it.
All right, Cameron, well, still nice job on the run tonight. Of course, win your 11th career win. You're only one away now from tying Aiden Donahue for all-time Xfinity wins. And, of course, we'll see you in the booth for the Xfinity Series next race in Daytona. But for the Cup Series, we'll see you tomorrow night where you try to sweep the weekend for the first time in your career.
Yeah, Matthew White is fat, so nice try to him.
Wow. Okay, coming up next is going to be Michael Gregory. Finishes side-by-side with Cameron Chandler. Michael Gregory, what an effort it was there on the final few laps. You had a very eventful day. You ultimately will finish in second in a nearly photo finish there with Cameron Chandler. Just take me through those final few corners and what you guys are going through.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. It's probably one of the most complete races I've had this season, probably since Daytona. Put a lot of work in today on saving some tires, and it helped me out in the long run. But the race coming to caution there with like 5 or so to go really helped me. Got some fresh rubber on it, and I knew Chandler was gonna be the guy to beat. Just needed to see if the car would stick on the top side, and it stuck. And man, I just can't even be mad. That was one of the most fun races I've been a part of.
Of course, I believe your best finish of the season as well. You guys gained a lot of points at the playoff cut line. You're not going to be inside, I believe it, almost inside the top 5 in points with a really good amount of point stays that you guys have had. You're okay on the playoff cut line as well. Do you guys think now maybe about plus 20, plus 25 on the cut line they're going to be able to hold on heading into Daytona?
Yeah, it was one of the big things I looked at before today's race. I knew we were kind of flirting with that cut line, and after that first stage when I came home P2 and I was kind of running Cameron down, I felt really good. I knew finally got some good stage points. I just knew we needed to have a complete race, and we brought it home P2. Looking forward to Daytona. I mean, I ran really well there at the beginning of the year. I think that's kind of one of my bread and butter tracks. I love those draft and race tracks. So yeah, looking forward to go out there, probably try to back up this P2 with the P1.
All right, Michael, of course, so close to your first career Xfinity Series win, but good points day all around P2 in the race. So we'll see you in 2 weeks after the off week in Daytona.
Thanks, man.
Coming up next is going to be Richard Cherry. Richard Cherry, you guys will finish third. Unfortunately, you're literally 1 point off from locking up the regular season title, but fortunately for you, all that needs to happen in Daytona is Cole Wilson not winning the pole, and then that's official. You're the regular season champion for this season in Xfinity. But yeah, ultimately, pretty solid day for you guys. Ran top 5 for a majority of the night. We'll finish in third, battling for the lead there late in the race. Just what more did you guys need?
I mean, it wasn't even majority of the race. In stage 1, I was like in 8th, so it was a bad stage 1, and then stage 2, unlucky again with the yellow. Then when I need the yellow doesn't come out, so and even if Cole, I'm gonna be honest, even if Cole wins the pole, I don't think anybody is scoring like 30 plus 30 points at Daytona. So just good race, but yeah, let's see at Daytona.
Yeah, so you won at Daytona, of course, to start the season in the season opener. Do you guys think you're going to be able to sweep Daytona for the Xfinity Series this week, or this season, I should say?
I don't know, man. I mean, we might see Rajon Coke win the race, so you don't know what's going to happen there.
All right, Richard. Well, still nice job. Top 3 finish and 1 point away from locking up that regular season title, and we'll see you in Daytona.
All right, thank you.
Next up, going to be Cole Wilson, finished 4th. Cole Wilson, you finished 4th. You still mathematically did enough to keep the regular season championship alive heading into Daytona, the final race of the regular season. It's still, you literally need to win the pole, win the race, get 0 whacks, and win the stage with Cheery falling out with 0 points scored on the day. So it's going to be very hard. It's still technically possible, but ultimately take me through some of your highs and lows of your day here in Kansas.
One of the few times I think I really could have beaten Aiden Donahue, Richard Cherry, and Cameron Chandler, but mistakes from me and just unluckiness really cost us. Me speeding on pit road on that last set of pit stops really was what set us back when could have had a shot to get the lead there. And then if there wasn't that caution in the first place, me and Richard were really catching Cameron, and I think that would have been a great finish. But we still clawed back and got 4th. Like you said, still have a shot at the regular season championship, but I think it's very unlikely. But just focus in for the playoffs and look forward, I guess.
So, of course, how are you going to take this good run, though, all around? You had really good pace. Does this give you some good confidence heading into tracks like, I mean, we got tracks like Las Vegas, Homestead in the playoffs, mile and a halfs like this?
Yeah, definitely some confidence saved my tires just as well. I mean, I was talking to Cameron after our first pit stop, and I had about the same tires as him. So he's one of the best at it, so to be able to match him and be up front the entire day, it's really positive, especially when I was the best full-time driver a lot of times today besides Richard. So definitely positive.
All right, Cole, well, still nice job finishing top 5 here in Kansas tonight and technically keeping the regular season battle alive for heading into Daytona for the final race for the regular season, so we'll see you then.
All right, thank you.
Coming up next, going to be Aiden Donahue. He somehow clawed his way back to 6th. Aiden Donahue, this is a definition of an up and down day for you guys. You'll ultimately will claw your way back to 6th place. Just we saw some beef there with Alexander Ortega. You got some damage, fell back through the field, repaired it. You started in the back as well. Just such a chaotic day. Just take me through some of the highlights and even lowlights tonight, finishing 6th.
Oh, I was having a ball all night. The thing was sideways. Every lap, everybody was drifting around the track. It was fun, slowly, methodically doing the way we'd always do it. Ever since I started this league, just make your way up through the field. And then, yeah, we ran into the bulldozer that is the 32 car. And I don't know what his deal was, but anytime I was in front of him, no matter if I was low or the middle of the racetrack or anything like that at all, he would just send it in from, I don't know, he'd send it in all the way from downtown and just I don't know where he's going. He's gonna hit my rear bumper, and so we got damage and tried to make it back. And if I got to him, I was gonna show him his displeasure, but or my displeasure. But I guess I got what I wanted to see. I mean, I finished like what 14th or something because he wrecked on the last lap or something like that. But you can't race like that. You just can't. Like I get you're racing for your own thing and stuff, and you don't want to give it up. Hard racing is fine, but running through somebody and borderline spinning them out 3 times is, I don't know. You can't be racing people like that, let alone cup guys. So he's got what's coming to him next season, but yeah, that was a little frustrating. But other than that, had a baller last restart, sent it 4 wide and finished 6th. So if that's all we got, that's all we got, and we'll take it from there.
So of course, still 6th place finish, like you said. Will we see you in any more FedEx races throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think my next one is Dover weekend in October. I'll be doing both of those, and then the final race of the year, Homestead.
All right, well, we'll see you coming up in a little bit for the doubleheader Xfinity and Cup at Dover in the playoffs.
Yes, sir. See ya.
Coming up next, going to be Keaton Converse, I believe. Guess came on P5. What a day for him. Keaton Converse, really, really great day for you guys in your first ever Xfinity Series start. So impressive in practice as well. In the race, you guys kind of ran inside the top 10 for a majority of it, but later in the race, you guys got great restarts, and you finished in top 5 in your first ever Xfinity start. Take me through just what was going on there in the final couple of restarts.
Yeah, like I don't know. Got a little lucky there, honestly. Try to keep it in. Stayed on his rear, honestly. Uh, Felt pretty good that whole race, honestly. That was like top level I've been performing lately. I just think since I was an iCar, I didn't really feel too comfortable in that car, honestly. Uh, and I think I'm just performing better in this Xfinity. So, yeah.
Yeah, ultimately, still all around a fantastic day for your number 19 race team. Um, so we got, of course, Daytona coming up next for the Xfinity Series. How many more scheduled starts will we maybe see you in for Xfinity this year?
Um, you will see me in Daytona. I will be joining that. But hold on, I'd have to check the schedule. But I think I will be joining that one. That's mainly confirmed.
All right, Keaton, nice job ultimately finishing top 5 here at Kansas Speedway. Great result, finishing ahead of guys like Aiden Donahue, an Xfinity Series former champion. And we'll see you in Daytona coming up pretty soon for the Xfinity Series.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, going to be CJ Urban, finished in 7th place tonight. CJ Urban, really solid day, P7, but most importantly, you guys sit above the playoff cut line, 8th in points. Now bet +7 on Pfeiffer, so that's a good good margin heading into Daytona for the regular season championship. So take me through your day, finishing top 10.
Really kind of quiet day. We started off, we struggled early, but then I kind of figured it out late, and we got that caution, and I thought we were going to be good. But then when they stacked up on the restart, it gave me nose damage, so we had to pit before the final restart. We were able to get back up to 7th, but I felt like if it would have worked out a little differently, we could have gotten a top 5. Sucks we're going to have to fight our teammate for the final playoff spot, but we'll do it anyways.
Yeah, so of course, like I said, +7 heading into Daytona between you and Brandon Pfeiffer. That is it for the final playoff spot in the Xfinity Series this season. So do you think you're going to be able to hold on? Are you pretty good at super speedways? Like, I know Daytona is completely unpredictable. Anything could happen there. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, normally I run up front in super speedways in this league. I just get wrecked a lot. But when I rode at the back at Atlanta, I didn't even get a chance to fight. So definitely not doing that. But I know Brandon's good at super speedways too. Normally we work well together, but gonna have to fight him this time.
All right, CJ, we'll see you in Daytona where you try to defend that final playoff spot.
Yep, thanks.
Coming next, going to be Cole Clausen, came home with the top 10. Cole Clausen, not a bad day all around for you guys. Going to be P8. You guys restarted inside the top 5 at one point late in the race. Unfortunately, there was the outside lane, which got terrible restarts all night long, so it wasn't really your fault doing there. But ultimately, P8. Take me through the chaos that was going on 3 and 4 wide action there on those final few restarts.
Yeah, car was definitely pretty loose there all race on, but usually I'm not a big fan of loose race cars, but man, it was really fun just ripping around Kansas like a tornado, if you feel me. So yeah, I mean, we're just flying there kind of, but D. Filippi, obviously, we all know the beef that me and him have, and he sent it 3 wide on the final restart, and I definitely was not very happy about that, but I was able to get the position back on him later. But he needs to be suspended. I mean, he wrecks in just about every race he does, honestly, and so yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but I'm pretty excited for the Cup race tomorrow night, and yeah, just hopefully we can get like a top 5 or something in that race, because I think we'll have speed.
So, of course, 2 races to go before the Cup Series playoffs. You guys had a good day in Richmond. You guys enter +12. What is your confidence level to hold on to that +12 gap in Kansas and Daytona, 2 of your best racetracks?
Yeah, just gotta have some luck on our side. It'd be really nice if McMillan was racing, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to make it. Maybe he'll be able to make it for Daytona. That's really where he's a big help for me. But yeah, all we gotta do is just execute, and hopefully we can just start racking up some good finishes here before the playoffs.
All right, Cole. Nice job, still top 10, but we'll see you in this, of course, the Cup Series where you're full time in one of probably your favorite tracks from former Season 2 stuff in Kansas tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, coming up next going to be Max DiFilippi. Max DiFilippi, good day for you guys, P9. So it was pretty chaotic. I heard Cole Clausen's point of view with your final like little battle there. So what was your point of view there in the final few restarts?
Yeah, we had a good day. At the end of stage 1, I kind of burned up my stuff and was all over the place, but got back with all the restarts and stuff and got nose damage on one of the starts because they all stacked up and couldn't really get slowed down, so. And then they did it again, and I went to the bottom to not wreck, so I think Stream heard that I was going to get a penalty, but they caught it off, thankfully. And then final restart, I need to win the 2 races to even have a shot in the playoffs, which even then I don't know, so I was just trying to get everything I can, and I was holding the bottom as much as I can there with Cole Clausen, and I feel like I slid up a little bit, he came down a little bit, so we had a couple PMs after the race, friendly and non-friendly, so I don't know. I know he's frustrated with me, and that's alright. We can work it out, I feel like, so that was a good day overall.
All right, so we're heading into Daytona next week, of course. So it's a super speedway. Anything could happen there. What are your thoughts and your chances for maybe a victory?
Pretty good. As you know, officials were there, and I had at least 5 or 6 photo finishes, and I was second each time, so I don't know, hope luck will change, but definitely gonna have to respect Cole Clausen a little bit more to try to dial down the beef, because I don't want to have beef with anybody, so yeah, I feel like we have good shots. I know I have a teammate, maybe a couple, but yeah, good day, I hope.
All right. Well, still nice job, Max, on the top 10 finish here in the Xfinity race at Kansas. So mathematically, let me check real quick for the playoffs. Mathematically, for you guys, you're currently with 30. I think you're currently mathematically out of
20th.
contention for the playoffs. I think you're about 20th or so in points. So fortunately, out of contention for the playoffs, but we'll see you in Daytona next week, or in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm still gonna finish out this Xfinity season, but I'll definitely try to still get a win. But the playoffs, I will just race all the tough guys with respect. Obviously, don't want to ruin their days. And Cup, I'm gonna race Daytona. And we're here to win, but also here to not make enemies with everybody. So yeah, that should be fun.
All right, Max. Well, still nice job on the run tonight, and we'll see you in Daytona.
Thank you. See you later.
Up next is gonna be let me see. All right, so coming up next will be Alexander Ortega for our final interview of the day. Alexander Ortega, I don't really... Oh. And he's gone now, okay. All right, so of course, Alexander Ortega, you know he had that insane run all around. And that'll do it here tonight from Kansas Speedway. So we hope you enjoyed the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series in Kansas. What a finish it was all around. And that'll do it tonight. So on behalf of all officials, team owners, commentators, drivers, everyone involved in making this league what it is, we'll see you tomorrow night at Kansas Speedway for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. Just 2 races to go before the Cup Series playoffs. Of course, the Xfinity Series, we'll see you in 2 weeks after the league off week. in Daytona for the regular season finale. So good night in Kansas. We'll see you tomorrow night for Cup.